Okay, let's call the meeting to order. If you call the roll, please.
Dave Waddington,
Here.
Dan Delahunt, John Fike,
Here.
Walt Matthews,
Here.
Dr. William Siemens,
Here.
Greg Peugeot.
We have a quorum, so we have enough to start the meeting. We have the minutes from the January 19th meeting. Hopefully you had a chance to read those. If you have, and I'll need a motion.
A motion. Oop. Oh, that was that door open.
I'll second it.
We have a motion second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are passed.
When she opened that door, I didn't know where that was coming from.
We have two items on the agenda, but we're only going to deal with the one at 223 Meg Street. So this is an adjudication hearing, so if you are going to give testimony, you need to be sworn in. So if you'd raise your right hand, repeat after me. Promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. You are sworn in. Okay, the first item is 22 Meg Street, it's an area variance to zoning code section 1129.14 to allow the creation of parcels that do not meet the minimum area and yard requirements for a lot in an R2 family zoning district. The area variance is section 113311C2 to allow structure to encroach upon to within 9.9 feet of the minimum 15-yard setback in a downtown business district that adjoins a residentially zoned parcel. We have the staff comments. Is there anything additional you want to add?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's skipping that one. So on to 223 Megs, because the other item on the agenda tonight, the 1430 Columbus Ave, we do not have a quorum to discuss that item again tonight. Just to reiterate, Mr. Fike did work for this project and therefore can't vote on it, so we do not have a quorum to review that application. So on to 223 Meg Street. This parcel is zoned, or this project, excuse me, is zoned as multiple parcels, downtown business and also R2F, two-family residential. The adjacent zoning to the north is two-family residential, to the east is public facilities, to the south is two-family residential, and to the west is two-family residential. The existing use of this site is a mix between a restaurant and brewery and also residential. There are 3 variances being requested on this one application, and they are as followed, is to allow the creation of 3 parcels which do not meet the minimum lot size for a new lot in an R2F two-family residential zoning district. The minimum lot size requirement is 4,300 square feet. The proposed lot sizes are, and there's 3 lots, so lot A, B, and C on your screen right now. Lot A is 3,003 square feet, lot B is 3,003 square feet, and lot C is 2,904 square feet. Variance number 2 is to allow the creation of 1 parcel that does not meet the minimum backyard setback requirements for an existing residential structure within an R2F zoning district. The minimum backyard requirement, based on the minimum backyard standards of 30% of the parcel length in this case, would be 26.94 feet. The applicant is proposing a backyard on this parcel of 20.25 feet. Variance number 3 being requested is to allow a structure to encroach up to 9.9 feet into the minimum 15 feet side yard setback of a downtown business zoning district, which adjoins a residentially zoned district. The applicant is looking to construct an expansion to their brewery operation, which includes a new bar and also seating area. It will, excuse me, let me get to the next part. Due to the small size and layout of the site, the applicant has chosen to move forward with these site plans and not try to avoid a variance process. Staff has talked multiple times with the applicant about the feasibility of reorganizing the site to avoid these requirements, but after further staff analysis and meeting with the applicant, staff agrees the site size and layout does pose development challenges, and we brought this forward. Staff met with the applicant on December 6th of 2022 at the site to better understand this project. After review, the proposed site plan is optimal for flow and placement, especially the back of house needs, which include the kitchen and staff areas, given the location of the walk-in cooler and existing dining area. The applicant currently owns all parcels in front of us tonight. And a site plan approval occurred on January 25th of 2023 and was approved by the Planning Commission. One of the conditions prior to any construction moving forward was that these variances be acquired. So planning staff supports the requested variances at 223 Meg Street with the following conditions upon approval, and that's that all necessary permits are obtained through the building, engineering, and planning departments prior to any construction.
Just so that I've got it clear in my head, is this one bit large parcel now, and they're breaking these 3 lots out?
So if you look on the screen now, the right image is the current parcel layout. So there's 5 parcels. The blue on the screen is the downtown business, and then the remaining 4 parcels are all zoned R2F, 2-family residential. Now, all of these parcels are owned by the applicant. And just for clarification on variance 3 being requested, there's 4 different setbacks. It's the blue ziggly line, I guess, for lack of better terms, on the screen right now. There's 4 different setbacks being proposed. The largest of the 4 is a 9.9 foot encroachment. So 5.1 feet would be the actual setback. But the setbacks are as follows: a 7.2 foot setback, 5.1 foot setback, 5.7 foot setback, and a 6.1 foot setback.
Okay. All right, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in favor of this request? If so, please come to the podium, state your name and your address.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out on a blustery afternoon. My name is Dan McGookie. Business address is 225 Meg Street, my law office for 20 years or so. And, well, John, you want to
John
introduce?
Hancock, my office is at 326 East Market Street, Sandusky.
I just more or less would like to invite any questions that you guys would have, but I guess suffice it to say right now that we are looking to do a major addition onto the brewery. Not only is the space there, which Alec had described as the new seating area, that will consist of that will add 83 seats to our current capacity, more than doubling our size. But we decided in conjunction with that to add a new kitchen, which is that area just to the right of the blue line. Anyone familiar with the current layout of the brewery, if you walk out onto the back patio, concrete patio of the brewery right now, that would be the new kitchen. So we're going to pretty much quadruple the size of the kitchen, which is now upstairs. We'll convert that into an office for the brewery. The kitchen will not only, the new kitchen being downstairs, will not only allow us to more efficiently get the hot food out to the people quickly, it will increase our efficiency and the quality of our food, but also being a lot larger and being downstairs and a lot more accessible. And with the additional space, we'll be able to prepare. We'll add new equipment too on top of our old equipment, and then we'll be able to add to our menu. So we're really excited about the project. We've met with good success over the last 5 years since we opened. And I guess lastly, I'd point out, as far as the the lot sizes. And by the way, everyone, the open area on the upper right corner, which is part of which is currently belongs to the two lots which are on the north, the pink ones on the top end, 623 and 627. We are planning down the road of either converting that to parking. All of this is going to be completely landscaped, by the way, too, and or possibly a new brewing room, adding to our current brewing capacity, the brew room. So one last thing that I'd like to point out is that the lot line of the, I call it the south parcel, that's 631, the one that's, you see it on the diagram, that's 631, that, the size of the lot, that lot has never been changed. And when I bought all four of these parcels at different times, when I bought 631, that lot line to the right, which is the north lot line of 631, that's never been, that's consistent. So that lot size, whatever that is, has never changed. It is what it is. It'll stay stay as it always was. I might add lastly that parcel 629, the first pink one to the top above 631, when I built the brewery, when we built the building 6 years ago, to have that back outside patio, I had to, with pretty much the identical request that came here 6 years ago or so, requesting that the lot size of 629 be reduced to allow for a back patio, and that was granted. So there's precedence for this, and thanks to the commission, and quite frankly, thanks to the thanks to the BZA then, and thank you to the city government as a whole. We've met with just tremendous cooperation, which has allowed us to be what we are, to get this far. So we would ask that you stick with us again. And John's, of course, everyone knows John is the surveyor, did all the site plan work and so forth. So he's here to, if there's any technical questions, I'd throw them to John.
I guess I'm just confused. Let's look at Lot A as example to start with.
Lot A, right.
What's the existing lot size? Are we making it smaller?
Making it smaller, it now includes everything to the north into that crosshatched area, as does Lot B. That also extends all the way to the north.
Let me pan back to
where the
existing lot lines.
kitchen area is going to be extended to. If you look off of the northwest corner of the brew house building and trace that lot line going back to the west, that's the present rear line of 623 and 627.
So we're taking a lot that complies with regulations now, and we want to make it a lot that doesn't comply.
Correct.
So yeah, that is a portion of this request, one of the three requests.
Okay, and the square footages of, trying to think where that was. The lot, you want to make it a 3,000 square foot lot, and presently it's probably what, about a 6,000 square foot lot?
I can calculate it quick.
I had calculated all this, but it's been a little while.
Well, it looks like we're cutting it not quite in half.
It's roughly 5,110 square feet, give or take.
So we're
That's what
talking
exists.
about a variance here of, I guess in magnitude of size, large.
Well, I think that the figures, Alec, are set forth in the committee's recommendation were, actually on page 2, I believe, where it says background information. 3 parcels, the minimum lot size was 4,300. The proposed lot sizes are 33 for Lot A, Lot B, 33. So the actual reduction of lots A and B, which are I think the lots you're asking about, John, they're actually being reduced by a quarter, if I have my figures correct.
Well, if they're-
No, a third.
A third, yeah.
If they're like 5,000 square feet, we're taking them down to 3,000 square feet.
Two-thirds.
Yeah, but the current, they're 1,000 square feet over the minimum lot size. Currently, they're 1,000 square feet over the current minimum lot size requirement. So they're over 5,000 square feet currently. The minimum lot size requirement is 4,300. So they're way bigger than the minimum lot size requirement. And I think it just makes sense to me, just respectfully, that lot, now that you pointed out the actual, where's that page that we were just on, 5? Okay. Yeah, Lot A, I should have recognized that before I didn't A, B, C. But lot, well, it isn't, the lot right below Lot C is not being touched. That's 631 East Washington Street. That size is the same size as it was when I first bought any of these properties. That has not changed at all.
Okay, but we're talking about lots A, B, and C, not that lot.
Yeah, well, and then C, no, well, we're talking about,
When you're asking us to cut the backyard of this house and completely off, so that you can build a building.
completely, no, there's still going to be a backyard.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, wouldn't it be completely off? The backyard requirements for A and B would still be met. So Lot C, the backyard requirements, you can see there's a chunk off of the bottom right corner of Lot C being cut off. That is what's triggering the minimum backyard requirement, but lots A and B would still meet those requirements. It's the minimum lot size, the minimum area that it would not be meeting.
So your variance 2, I guess, is that, or description of the proposal 2 is to, the setbacks are required to be 26 feet, and you're proposing them to be 20 feet?
So that's going to be Lot C only that will not meet the requirement. So Lot C, off of that corner that's being cut off, the measurement is 20.25. Lots A and B exceed the minimum backyard setback.
I see what you're doing. I'm not particularly in favor of it. I want to ask a question here, though. There's 3 people here.
Mhm.
If the vote is 2-1, does it pass?
That'd be a question for Sarah with law. If I recall correctly, if there's 3 members, all 3 have to be yes. I could be wrong. That's what I recall.
Yes, so a vote of 3 members of the board is necessary to decide in favor of the applicant.
Okay. But my concern is we're taking lots that, existing city lots, and we're cutting them way back, considerably. And we're 1,300, just under 1,300 square feet less than what the minimum lot size is. And is there any way to just cut them back to the minimum lot size?
Yeah. Oh, could we do that? We're talking about, just so we're all on the same page, are we talking about lots A and B now? Just those two?
Those are the two that are full depth lots?
So let me, if I may, lots A, B, and C all require variance 1, which is they will not meet the minimum area requirement. Currently, lot C does not meet the minimum area requirement, but it's taken even more away, so they would need a variance for that. So to Mr. McGoogie's point, if you look at the 631 Washington Street, which is not part of this application, but for reference of historical lot sizes in the city, you'd see that these 3 lots above, lot C, or A, B, and C, still exceed what would be considered the historical parcel size of the city of Sandusky. Not that it applies to today's standards, but I think that was Mr. McGoogie's point from earlier.
And, well, another thing on top of that just occurred to me that my law offices, which is not marked, but is where it says variance 3 to the right of that, that's my current law office, and you can see the size of that lot. That's 30 foot wide. And that's, I'm going to guess it's certainly no bigger, might even be smaller, but let's say it's the same size as 631. So that, my house was built in 1916 as a Sears Kid house. So this is and there was a house right next to the right of that, and then there was Herb's Bait Shop. All these lots were 30 feet wide. Historically, as Alec used that word, I mean, that's true. It's historically none of these lots met these, I shouldn't say that, but it was very common, to have.
Well, lots A and B do meet.
A and B do.
And we're talking about lots A, B, and C, not 631 Washington Street or your law office.
That's right.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, lots A and B would essentially become the same size as lot C currently without this proposal is. It'd be the same footprint. Lot C is obviously becoming a little smaller with this proposal, but in the grand scheme of things, not a very large chunk is being taken away. So there are 2 existing parcels that would, or excuse me, 1 existing parcel that would meet the A and B request that exist currently. On the screen here, you can see to the right, the middle parcel of the bottom of this chunk would be lot C currently, and then A and B are to the left of that. So they're taking the back property line and meeting what is currently lot C's backyard property line. Now, after the proposal, that would change, obviously, but. So lot C is an existing parcel, so lot A and B would meet that existing standard.
May I add something to that? There was a previous variance for lot C that was done, I don't know, a couple of years ago, to split off the back of that lot, which included the current brew house. So that lot C lot size was already reduced, and there was a previous approval for rear yard requirement and lot size on that. With this variance, we're taking another little corner of lot C to accommodate getting at least a 5-foot setback for the new building. So the current request on lot A and B under variance 1 is consistent with what was already granted on lot C previously when the brew house was split off the back of that.
I see that. My question was, looking at Lot A, taking these one at a time, can we make that lot smaller but still meet the minimum lot size?
We'd have to be 125 feet deep with Lot A to meet the minimum lot size.
What is it currently? I mean, what's the
Currently, it's
proposed?
about 88. Well, what we're
89.8.
requesting is about an 89-foot depth on it, and we'd 125-foot depth to meet the minimum lot size.
And I think after meeting with the applicants, their vision is to get ahead of this for future development, which is the cross-sectioned area of this site plan. They tend to expand, they don't know exactly when, but to possibly expand the brew house, the kitchen, you name it, parking even. So I think they're trying to save themselves a step down the road to have to come back to get another variance for the same request of parcel, or Lot B in this case.
But I understand what they're doing. I'm just thinking, in my mind, we can do what you want on Lot A, take it to the minimum lot size without taking basically half the lot away.
Well, I kind of would disagree with that, the way you've termed it, John, because we're not taking half the lot away. It's 1/3, or what did I say? It's well over it's almost 1,000, or at least 700 square feet above. It's in excess, currently, it's in excess, way in excess by at least 700 square feet of the current minimum lot size. Let's talk about, break these lots down one at a time. Lot A is, just to be clear, is at least 700 square feet larger than is required under the minimum lot size requirement.
It says the minimum lot size is 4,300 square feet, and you want to take it down to 3,003 square
Right.
feet. So I don't know where your 700 comes from, but that's not true.
If I may, the existing area of Lot A and B, Lot A is 5,100 square feet, give or take. Without having the exact numbers, it's kind of hard to read, but that's the calculation I had, was just over 5,100 square feet. So that's where he's getting the 700 from.
Okay, so, but you could take the lot down to 4,300 square feet, still have a legal-sized lot on Lot A.
Yeah, well, B that poses another unique issue, but A, you're correct, John, but as Alec just pointed out, to keep that line even, or, keep that east, or that line to the right of all these lots, Lot A and B, to keep it consistent and to allow for what no doubt we plan, we just don't know exactly when and exactly what, but we would like to be able to use all of that hash marked area in the future as part of the brewery operation. So we're just trying to save a step here, coming back again, knowing that this is what we're going to do, or what we're planning on doing if allowed to do it, that's all. So as far as Lot B is concerned, we have a cooler back there,
Kitchen addition will
yeah,
extend
and the
that as
kitchen
well.
addition needs to cut in at least into a portion of the area which is, part of Lot B.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I understand your concerns with the reducing the lot size, but in my mind, I feel in light of what's potentially happening in this corner of the city, that this is a acceptable variance to offer to Mr. McGookie, considering the sizes of the lots as they are, and it looks like those backyard areas are not being used as grassy backyards currently. I would be willing to make a motion to that end at this point.
Okay, we have a motion, and
My motion would be to approve all three variances.
okay. These are, to me, they're kind of unique in that they're one owner, but they're three different lots.
Correct.
And just in my mind, they should be taken care of separately.
I understand that, and I can
If you would make a
easily
motion
amend my,
Yes.
how about if I withdraw my motion and we can address them lot by lot?
Okay, let's do them one by one. Is there a motion?
Well, then
I
let's,
understand what your motion is. Let's approve all three variances. But actually, for Lot A, we only need two variances?
Just the one for A.
Just one variance.
C needs two,
Okay,
correct.
okay, so Lot A, we need one variance, and that's to the lot size.
and I will make that motion for
Okay.
Lot A.
We have a
For lot
motion,
size.
and we have a second. Any questions on that motion? Now, if you'd call the roll, please. And a yes is approving the variance.
Okay. John Fike,
Yes.
Walt Matthews,
Yes.
Dr. Siemens.
Yes.
Okay, so Lot B, you want to make the same motion?
For lot size as well as that has a setback, doesn't it?
Nope, just Lot C as the backyard
Just
setback.
Lot C? Okay, then same motion for Lot B.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any questions on that? If you'd call the roll, please.
Walt Matthews,
Yes.
Dr. Siemens,
Yes.
John Fike.
Yes. And then Lot C, there are two variances. One is the lot size, and then it's the setback.
Yep, minimum backyard setback.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
and we have a second. Okay, any questions on the motion? Please call the roll.
Dr. Siemens,
Yes.
John Fike,
Yes,
Walt Matthews.
Yes.
the motion is passed. Those variances are approved.
So there's a third variance being requested.
What's the third one?
So it's the minimum side yard setback
I'm
of a
sorry?
business in a downtown business zoning district if it's touching a residentially zoned parcel. So
Okay.
the light blue on your screen, variance 3, is the proposed minimum setbacks for the side yard of the brewery. And
That's
I
what
can retouch on that.
That's
if
the
you-
third one, then. Okay.
Right. So I will make a motion to approve the setback variance.
Second.
We have a motion to approve that variance and a second. Any questions? Please call the roll.
John Fike,
Yes.
Walt Matthews,
Yes.
Dr. Siemens.
Yes.
That variance is approved. Is there any old business?
There is, I would like to touch on a few.
I would like to thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Just real quick question, Dan, that area to the northwest, kind of behind the area behind the old Herbs, where that you had signed on for you had drawn out for parking.
Yes. Parking.
Do you currently own that
Yes.
property?
Mhm.
Just because I wonder with the construction that's in that lot across the street being
Well, what
utilized.
we're going to do, by the way, to all of you, if anyone that's, been on the site since the last 5 years since we've operated the brewery, we are going to clean up. There's a lot of stuff that we just kind of pushed to the side. In fact, there's a garage building behind the current, the Herb's Bait Shop, which we have another use for coming up sometime in the next couple of years. But the garage behind that is going to be knocked down. All of that trashy, the old minnow tanks, which still are back there, along with a lot of old wood and so forth, that's all going to be cleaned up. This area that we're talking about, by the way, the area you're talking about, which we probably will turn into a parking lot, it's very low-lying. It's always flooded. We're going to fill that all in. The whole place and including these houses with landscaping, and the aesthetics of the area are going to be improved, believe me, 100%. So, yeah, but I do own that.
Great to hear.
So, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. A couple of staff updates in regards to some tabled items that are still on the table that we'd like to address and remove. First off is 630 Cold Creek Boulevard. The issue was resolved. The application was pulled by the applicant a couple months ago. The second item is 1502 Hayes Avenue. After further staff analysis, the variance being requested was not required. So that was removed as well.
For which?
That was 1502 Hayes Ave,
Barbershop.
the barber shop.
Oh, right.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep, so he has his site plan approvals and he's moving forward.
That was going to be tight, no matter what
Yes.
happened there.
Yeah. That's it,
Anything else?
thank you.
And so that's the old business?
That's old business.
Okay, our next meeting is March 16th, but you said you wanted to see if you could have one sooner?
Correct, so,
Just need to know
Are we
your
getting
schedule.
overtime for these extra meetings?
good.
Double time, double what you normally get.
And 2 zeros.
See, I'd like to meet with you all after the meeting and discuss timeline, and I'd like to do it as soon as
Okay,
possible.
the next scheduled meeting, that was March 16th.
Correct, so
Okay.
between now and March 16th, I'd like to have a special meeting to hold that case.
Okay,
Not be available next week at all.
Okay, so 2 weeks from now, I'll shoot for that week and send out an email
I think
to everybody.
Dan said that,
Dan's gone for 2 months.
it's 2 months.
He's 2 months, he's just said, he asked me, he just said, do you think maybe I should resign because I'll be gone for 2 months? And I said, no, we should be able to make sure we're here. I said, but if you're going to be gone for 6 months, yes, you need to resign.
Right.
So,
Just a week.
Okay, good point.
So we will need everyone except for Dan to be in attendance to get that one passed.
All right,
So I'll be in touch with you guys and
okay.
get that situated.
So you're
do we have a motion to
thinking
adjourn? Is it you want
4 weeks, or let's see, the regular's
Excuse me,
the
sorry.
16th.
You want a motion to adjourn and then, or,
That's fine, yeah.
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye, aye.
We're adjourned.